It hurts when something that you've put your heart and soul into and that you care about so much is going through a difficult time.
Listen, I think it's fair that if you're invested with Disney in any way possible,
I am never going to financially recover from this.
The idea of looking at what this company is doing and thinking to yourself, it might be a good idea to distance ourselves from this, the bad business decisions, pushing the woke agenda. It hasn't turned out very well.
Put a chicken in, make her gay.
In fact, after a miserable 2022, when Bob Chapek got fired, Bob Iger came back in to try to save the company. Arguably, 2023 has been even worse. When you look at the box office losses they've had, when you look at the over 10 million Disney Plus subscribers they've dropped since the beginning of the year, it's been a disaster for them.
I can't. Can you? I got it.
And Bob Iger even was forced to admit on stage the other day that messaging that woke ideology has played a part. He admits that they went woke and that has been a major problem, but it's not going to change anytime soon. And as a result, combined with the problems they're having in the state of Florida, the legal troubles they have here in Florida, the legal troubles they have in California with 9,000 women suing them, it looks like South Carolina is getting in on the action too. South Carolina will no longer invest in Disney, cites companies' embrace of far left activism. And this is not just, a couple $1 million. This is $105 million. South Carolina will pull $105 million of funds out of Disney after Republican leaders slammed House of Mouse for suspending ads on Elon Musk's X and taking away working class people's voices. I would not be surprised to see more people doing this. I saw a lot of people say, why is a government invest? Obviously, whether you've got funds that like the government has, that they're not just sitting there in the bank, right? They're investing things too. They're investing a wide variety of things, including sometimes a place like Disney. I would not be surprised if more people end up doing this because of the backlash. And it's funny that so much of this is still stemming from Elon Musk simply telling Bob Iger to go fuck himself for trying to blackmail him, essentially.
Go fuck yourself.
I think there's going to be a lot more people that step up and do the same thing. I don't know how much this will affect them financially for them to say that, especially in South Carolina, correct? I don't know how much that'll affect them financially, but if other states start to join in as well, then if you're Bob Iger, where do you begin, to even try to pull your company out of the sinking Titanic?
Am I allowed to tell you that? I mean, it's kind of complicated.
At this point,
I would start by firing every person. That right? I'd fire every person who in their emails have their pronouns.
Is that like a personal attack or something? Or...
You know what I mean? Like next to their name. I'd start by firing every one of those people, and I think the problems would then fix themselves somehow. That's just a guess, right? That's a start. I think that's a pretty easy way to do it. I don't know if that's legal, but that's probably what I would do if I were running Disney right now.
It's just hard, But
it does seem like every time you turn around, there's something else bad. And Bob Iger was the guy that's supposed to come in and fix this.
Yeah,
and instead, he's just blamed everything on Bob Chapek. That can only last for so long.
I was disappointed in what I was seeing.
Well, they do the same thing with their failing movies. They blaming the pandemic, stuff like that. It's just this constant pass the blame. It is they never look at themselves in the mirror and say that, well, maybe we're the problem. It's always, no, he did it.
First of all, I was not seeking to return to Disney at all.
And that was a lie.
It's like the original sin. He made me do it. He made me bite the apple. He made me do it. Their pride is just so thick that it's I didn't do anything. And I don't want to hit. You can't blame Bob Chapek when he came in and now we find out that you gave him the little small office in the corner while you kept your office in the company the entire time you were supposedly stepped down.
But I really worked hard at distancing myself from it.
No!
Bob Iger was still there. He was still in the building.
Yeah.
He was still chairman of the board, all this stuff. And
That's
it's
so
clear to
stupid.
everyone that all these things, right? Guess what? Disney Plus didn't just magically appear when Bob Chapek took over.
Yeah.
Bob Iger, Disney Plus was his baby for years and years and years, right? These plans were set in motion a long time before. These people were hired at Pixar or Disney Animation Studios or whatever before Bob Chapek came there.
I think what this could set up, though, is the takeover could push for these other people trying to get on the board, it's possible it can make it a little easier. I think for me, I think that's his biggest concern right now. I don't think he cares about theme parks, movies, Lucasfilm. He's just all right, she's over there. You do it over this. I ain't letting these people get on my board and tell me what to do.
Go yourself.
Is that clear?
I think that's his primary focus right now, to be honest with you. While everything else is sinking, he doesn't want a hostile takeover.
Well, unfortunately for him, the best way to stop that from happening is to turn the company around.
Yeah.
Right. Because
100%.
if that happens, then you're not going to have people calling for change. Right.
100%.
When this happened back in February or whatever, what did we see? As a result of this push from activist investor Nelson Peltz, who wanted a seat at the board, who wanted all these things, Bob Iger made these sweeping announcements. We're going to be firing 8,000 people. We're going to be cutting costs by $5 billion. We're going to do all these things to try to turn the company around. All those things happened. Have they turned anything around yet? That's the question. In the eyes of Nelson Peltz, and a lot of people, no, they have not.
Duh.
I'm really interested to see what happens in the next couple quarters with the Disney Plus subscribers, because it's obvious that offering Disney Plus basically for free for $1.99 a month got a lot of people to sign up. I think those are artificial signups. I think there's going to be a lot of churn there. And in all likelihood, I think we're going to see them drop once again. But now that they're doing the bundling with Hulu, are they going to be able to try to mask those numbers a little bit? Who fucking knows?
That's the thing, though. It's like there's the same thing with the Verizon numbers, Disney Plus for free. Hey, look how many people are subscribed.
It's always something for
it's
Disney.
It's like just when you thought you could take a little pee break,
You're going to need a bigger boat. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.